Oh my god, the world must be ending. There's another video already? Yeah, no, it's not really. But hi guys, Acreletae again. I have gotten a whole load of new questions and everything else over the last little while, so I figured instead of waiting for life to make me sick or ill or wait for exams to happen or drama society productions to go on and take my time, I figured I'm just gonna get right down to it and actually start answering these questions. Seems like a better plan. I figure, you know, since it's Lent, I might as well try and be good. So here I am. I got my lista, my cup of tea. I'm gonna get right down to it. So I've been asked by a few people what it's like to finally be a player, because I have a confession to make. I have literally never been a player in a Dungeons and Dragons game ever. I've been sort of like an independent NPC for my ex who I used to play with. He tried to like kind of have me help him along with story and whatever else. That wasn't really being a player. I don't really have much in the way of free will or anything like that, so it was kind of crap. But no, two of my players here at home run an RPG society in their college, and they very graciously allowed me to join despite the fact that I don't go there. I have a lot of feelings. No, I don't go there, but I've been very graciously allowed to join, which is really, really nice. And thanks guys so much for letting me do that. So yeah, I've got my list of pros and cons of what's going on, so I'm just gonna crack on. So I find it really nice to have a proper idea of what it's like to be a player, because I've never had that experience, so I've never really been properly able to gauge what players might find interesting, what players might not find interesting. I mean, generally speaking, my players are really, really good. You guys always kind of go for whatever I set out in front of you, which is really nice of you, but I never really know quite how engaged they might be, and as a teacher, engagement is something I'm always very concerned about. Yeah, so it's kind of nice to see all of that happening, and it's kind of interesting just to witness everything from their perspective as opposed to from, you know, behind the screen. It's a really different world on the other side of the screen, but it's one I really like. I really like that there's just like no work involved, that I just come up with my character background, which I had loads of fun doing, and then I just show up with my dice bag and my character sheet, my little power cards and my notebook, and it's just waiting for me there. And it's really, I feel really special when I go there, because it's all laid out, and the DM's just done so much work just to make sure that like I'm having fun and everyone else around the table is having fun, and I actually feel really privileged walking in the door that it's all there waiting for me, that this world has been lovingly crafted and prepared, and then I just get to walk into it and explore it and see everything. And I find that really magical. I don't know, I've always been the one creating the stories and the one making the worlds, and I really, really put a lot of time and effort into it. I really love doing it. You know, these worlds that I create, these characters that I create, they're my babies. Like, I love them. And it's really nice that I have a DM who's doing the exact same thing, but for me to enjoy. It's like, I don't know, I really like that. I think it's really nice. Speaking of the other DM, I find it really, really helpful to observe her style of storytelling, the way she structures her games. Really, really helpful. I know she's really new to DMing and everything else, but she's doing a bang up job, and like she's really giving me a few ideas to implement in my own game, which I figure is fair enough, because she's stealing loads of stuff from me. So, you know, I don't know, Creative Commons or something. But it's really helpful for me, because I always come away really inspired, because when I think about it, if anything she would have done, I'd have done slightly differently. Like, we have a very similar style, we're both kind of storytellers, but or even like NPCs and stuff like that, like I'd have way different NPCs from what she'd have and everything else, or sometimes we'd have similar ones and I'd be like, more in tune to the nuances than I would be to the similarities. I'd just be like, oh, if this person's more interesting. And I don't know, if I was a dog, my ears would be constantly perked. I'm really excited about this place that she's laid out for us. It's nice to finally have the full experience of the game. You know, I don't feel like I'm missing out anymore or anything like that. It's just, I finally know what the whole game is like, which as a DM I think I probably should know. Instead of just knowing the half that's behind the screen, I now know the whole table, which is a really nice and really sort of bizarre experience at the same time, because I feel a bit of a fish out of water at times, but mostly it's really, really nice. And I really like that I've finally gotten to flesh out one character and focus on them, because I always get overexcited about my NPCs, because I have a few main NPCs for towns. Everyone else I just kind of have my list of names that I mentioned in my first video, and you know, just throw people in the path of the players, and you know, they don't really have a backstory or anything else, but if they get interested in the lives of this NPC, I just make it up on the spot. But the ones that I do actually pay attention to and carve out all the details and have bits of their backstory ready, I find it very frustrating that I have to stop, because I know that the players aren't going to ask that many questions and find out all this information I'm making. Which I know it's kind of nice for me to have, but I don't know, I prefer sharing stories than having them just for me. So it's kind of nice just to have one character with one backstory, as detailed as I want it to be, and I just get to be this one person instead of constantly trying to change my accent, my facial expressions and gestures and everything to differentiate between a bunch of people. Like, it's getting to the stage where I'm like, I might as well have a bag of wigs next to me just to help me differentiate a bit better, because my accents need a bit of work. But that's something I'll work on, I guess. And as well, I find it really fun that I get to finally like plot and plan things with the characters, because I always rein myself back from doing that as a DM, because I don't want to give them any advice. You know, whatever, like, you know, oh, do we see any hints? Or like, see, is there anything in the room and stuff? I can give them hints, but I'm not gonna say, oh, you guys should do this. This would be the most logical course of action. I try and refrain from that, even though all of me is like, you should do this! Do it! Why can't you see the solution? It's right there! And it kind of drives me a bit mad at times, but I don't take it out on them much. But it's nice to finally be allowed to interfere as much as I want, and I'm like, I can see a solution. Let's do that. And then they can listen to me, and I don't have to feel bad about it, and it's lovely. Which brings me to the cons. It's not actually cons about the game of the DM, it's more cons about my own behaviour and everything else. So anytime a player asks the DM a question, I almost start answering. Like, do we see anything in this room? And I'm immediately like, yeah, I don't actually know what's in this room. I don't know why I'm trying to field this question. I'm just so used to being the answers person. It's really weird not describing every single place that they're in. Like, a couple of times we've walked into places and I've been like, okay, and this is what it looks like. And then I'm like, wait. I must sound like a crazy person right now, because I did not have my pen up or anything like that. Like, just wandering into someone's spirit. This place looks like this, and it clearly doesn't look like that. And I don't know, my character must be just mental or something, maybe. It's not meant to be, but it's turning out that way. I do feel like there's a good bit of pressure on me to do more exciting things and to have a better grasp of the rules and stuff. Whereas I actually don't have a better grasp of the rules. In fact, my boyfriend Scott, who plays with us, he knows the rules better than anybody, and like, you know, he's my rules person. If I don't know something, I just go, Scott, what is it? And I get told the rules, and then I forget it immediately because I've got the story in my head. I don't need the rules right now, so I don't know the rules very well, which is really bad, but I don't. So I should probably study or something. But unfortunately I'm in college, so I have other things to do with my life. Like studying Gulliver's Travels or whatever. But I do feel like there's a good bit of pressure on me to be the all singing, all dancing when my dice doesn't seem to like me right now. They're like, yeah, I'll roll like 16 when you're doing a perception check, but yeah, 4s if you want to hit something or whatever. They just don't seem to be cooperative at the moment. So I don't know, I feel very weak in this sort of situation. And because my dice are acting out as well, I keep automatically fudging the dice because I'm a dice fudger DM. I really am. I'm kind of bad like that. But I start automatically fudging dice. Like, oh, I rolled a 3. I'm gonna change that to a 13, and then like I kind of catch myself before I say anything. It's like there's no screen there. What's the actual maths here and everything else? And I suck at mental arithmetic. So I'm kind of like rolling dice and then just staring from the die to my like character sheet and just being like, what is it? It's pretty. It's bad. It's kind of bad, but no, it's been loads of fun actually being a player. It's been loads of fun. It's been a real learning experience for me, and hopefully it'll give me some more tools or some more ideas for even NPC creation or just other ways of telling stories, because I'm starting to worry that maybe I'm telling the same story over and over and not realizing it. But yeah, again, thanks to two players that are DMing. I don't know if you guys want me to say your name on the internet, so I'm not gonna. Just in case. So thank you guys again so much for letting me be players. And guys, if you have any questions, comments down the bottom. I'd love to hear about anything you have to say. Any questions you have, I'd love to try and answer them for you. Not sure what the next video will be, but among them I'm going to be going through NPC creation. I'm going to be telling you guys about me and how I became a DM, because I've had a lot of people asking me about that, so I figure, you know, if enough people are interested, I might as well tell you. And I'm going to be talking about how I plan the overall story of a campaign, how far ahead I plan and everything else like that, because I think that's a really interesting question. So yeah, I've been Acreletae, and hopefully this has been not helpful but entertaining. Maybe, I don't know. See you soon, I guess.